Hey friend, and welcome to Happily Hormonal. I'm your host, Berri on Berri. Join me as we take a walk on the wild side of understanding our hormones, from puberty to menopause. Yeah, we're about to cover it all. From practical strategies to expert advice and personal experiences, you'll learn how to thrive through each stage of your hormonal life. Whether you're looking to improve your mood, manage those cravings, or just boost your overall vibes, this podcast is designed to help you embrace being happily hormonal. What is up, love, and welcome back to another episode of Happily Hormonal. It is your happy and hormonal bestie, Berri, and I am so happy and so grateful to be back here with you today. Today, we are going to be discussing 12 foods that can actually help you decrease estrogen levels naturally. Now, when I was thinking about going into this topic, I was a little hesitant because I am not a registered dietitian. However, I am a certified functional nutritionist. And the way that I transformed my period was literally eating my way to a better period. Transforming my period in turn also led to me balancing my hormones. And I truly do believe that if you are somebody who wants to balance your hormones, you need to start with your cycle, because your menstrual cycle, but more specifically your period, is that feedback from your body. It is that monthly report card from your body about your overall state of health. And one of the things that I know to be true is many of you who listen to this podcast are dealing with estrogen dominance, whether it's frank or relative, meaning you frankly just have too much estrogen, or you have too much estrogen in relation to progesterone. So I really wanted to make sure that I just shared with you some of the most popular foods you can actually begin to eat that will help you decrease your estrogen levels naturally. Another thing I want to go ahead and say is these may be foods that you definitely want to double down on in the first half of your menstrual cycle, so that in the second half of your cycle, your estrogen levels are lower, and in turn, hopefully supporting your progesterone levels. Now, if you are not sure about the first half of your menstrual cycle and the second half of your menstrual cycle, listen, baby girl, you must be new here. Go do some research, okay? Go back to some of those beginning episodes, because we really delve into all things cycle related, but these foods can support you throughout any phase of your cycle. But I definitely think that if you are somebody who's living with a heavy period, or you have fibroids, or you have a heavy bleed, these 12 foods would probably support you, not only in the first half of your cycle, but like ultimately do what we need them to do in that first half. Now, before we get into these recommendations, I do want to remind you that I do have my period nutrition plan. If you really are trying to balance your hormones and you understand the value in fixing your period first so that everything else can balance, then you can go ahead and head to the show notes, get your hands on my period nutrition plan. This is a 28-day plan that I use to transform my period. And it is also the one resource that I go back to time and time again as somebody who literally, I created it for myself, and I find myself constantly going back to it because the recipes are so good. I'm not even gonna front. Like, this is for those of you who love to cook, or you love to host, or you have a family. Like, these are real recipes. It's not like, oh, chicken and rice and that's it. Like, nah, y'all, we be in smash mode because your girl like to eat. There's over 60 incredible recipes. Some of them are herbivore, some of them are omnivore. Most of them are omnivore friendly. So I don't think there's one recipe that's just strictly carnivore. Sorry, not sorry. You need your fiber. But also, I go into how to eat for each phase, understanding your cravings, and like why we're doing certain things. Of course, I hook you up with your shopping list and whatnot, but I do think it is probably the resource I created that I'm the most proud of, because it's something I always go back to. But I digress. I'll leave that link down below for you. So what are these top 12 foods? The first food is actually garlic. Now, I know some of y'all are like, "Bro, I'm not trying to have my breath be bumping." I get that, right? So, one of the easiest things you can do is just start integrating minced garlic into your day-to-day cooking, or do what I do, which is like I have olives stuffed with garlic because I don't know what it is about that flavor combination, but I'm quite literally obsessed, and I actually get fermented garlic just like that. But garlic is one of the foods that's so good for a liver detox, and it contains these things called alliums. These liver cleansing foods really are important, and it also contains selenium, both of which help the liver rid itself of internal and environmental toxins, and of course, higher levels of fats. These boost your immune system, and it helps to clear out bacteria, viruses, and fungi. So, my first recommendation, right, is garlic. Whether it's minced garlic or fermented garlic, include some garlic into your routine. My second recommendation is apples. Listen, for the girlies inside of the fall cleanse right now, y'all know we are enjoying our apple pie smoothie, but what I cannot say enough is apples are so underrated. We've all heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's no cap. And in case you don't understand what no cap means, it means it's not a lie. Apples are one of the best foods for liver health and really cleansing and detoxifying. Apples contain pectin, which is actually a fiber that binds to heavy metals in digestion. This helps to remove heavy metals from the body during digestion before they're even entering your bloodstream. So you put less of a load on your actual liver to do the usual cleanup. This is like one of the best ways to support your liver. And if you are somebody who's ever heard of the medical medium, I love Anthony Williams and his work. And I remember the first time I came across his 369 cleanse, they use apples a lot. He is the reason that I looked into apples on a deeper level. And with it being fall, if you're listening to this live, with it being fall, go get your Honey Crisp, okay? Go get them pink ladies. Go get your Gala, okay? Go get your apples and start incorporating them into your routine, because this is going to support your liver. And as we're supporting our liver, we're supporting lowering our estrogen levels, because the liver is what processes and metabolizes our estrogen. Our third food is artichokes. Okay, and I'm not even gonna lie, I really don't like the flavor of an artichoke. I like the aesthetic, I like the way the artichoke looks, but the taste, not for me. But it is really a great food for liver detoxification, and it actually increases the production of bile. And if you're not like familiar with what bile helps digest your fats that you intake, but it also helps to flush out toxins, higher levels of fat, and waste from the liver. So again, we are supporting our liver because our liver helps us metabolize estrogen, which inevitably helps to lower those estrogen levels. When we have naturally lower levels of estrogen, we have a lighter flow, we have fibroids that are literally shrinking. We also have the ability to actually lose weight. A lot of people don't realize that estrogen and having excess estrogen in the body, these higher levels of estrogen, is why some people are overweight or dealing with stubborn belly fat and things along those lines. To each their own. Like, I'm not trying to get into an argument with anybody about their weight, okay? But when you have imbalanced estrogen that happens to be higher, you're going to notice that there's things going on in your body that you're like, girl, where did them hips come from? Like, I'm not mad about it, but also slim thick, you know? So I want you to keep that in mind. Again, we're trying to help naturally decrease our estrogen levels so that we can actually achieve that hormonal harmony, the coveted hormonal balance. The fourth food is avocados. One thing about me, I'm going to eat my avocado and I'm going to enjoy my guacamole, okay? Avocados are one of the foods that cleanse the liver because of their healthy fats and their micronutrients. They also help the body produce something called glutathione, which is a compound that helps the liver remove heavy metals, environmental pollutants, and toxins produced by stress. Okay, girls? So I'm not saying you need to be up on your avocado toast, but what I'm saying is if you're not eating avocado toast, you don't like your guacamole, girl, what is you doing? What are we doing? No, it's a different thing if you have an allergy. I get that. But like for those of you who are like, I just don't like avocado, we're like, I don't get you. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. But anyways, another really great food to help you naturally decrease those estrogen levels are beets. Now, one thing about me, you probably will never catch me just eating beets. Yes, I have included it in salads before, but like they were also smothered in something else. Like I don't just the taste of a beet is so earthy that it almost irks me if I'm being honest, but I love a good beet powder. And what it is about beets is, again, they're cleansing your liver, but they are filled with beta carotene and other antioxidants that actually combat toxins, oxidative stress, and free radicals. A lot of you have heard me talk about oxidative stress, but in the event that you're just so unfamiliar with it, oxidative stress is literally referring to a disruption in the balance of free radicals and antioxidants. So, with that being said, we want to be consuming beets. Beets also contain something called betaine, which encourages your liver cells to release toxins, and pectin, which binds to the toxins in your intestines so the body doesn't absorb or reabsorb them. So it's helping with the detoxification process. There are several pathways of detoxification in the body, specifically with the liver detoxification. So I want you to keep that in mind, okay? On to number 6. I'm going to put these two together because they're like brother and sister at this point. Broccoli and cauliflower. And really any other cruciferous vegetables like your cabbage and your Brussels sprouts, they're good for, again, cleansing our liver, and they contain compounds that neutralize a lot of the toxins that we are exposed to. Not only this, but these cruciferous vegetables contain something called glucosinolates, which increase enzyme production in your liver. The liver enzymes then aid the flushing of carcinogens and toxins and higher levels of hormones from the body. Okay, so it is I feel like most of y'all are like, oh, I'm eating broccoli because it has DIM in it. It is like, grow. It is so much deeper than DIM, but you do that. Okay. Now, the next one I want to share with you, number 7, I had to put it on the list, is this funky little carrot. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know how I feel about the raw carrot salad. Like, they be selling y'all on this raw carrot salad, and a lot of y'all don't even like raw carrots. You could just eat an apple and it could support you more. But that's none of my business. Carrots, like beets, right, help the liver detoxify basically everything, but it's rich in antioxidants like beta carotene, and that mops up your toxins and prevents damage to your liver cells. Now, sluggish liver, fatty liver disease, these things are some of the most common things that are impacting Americans today. A lot of you who are dealing with hormonal imbalance actually are dealing with like sluggish livers. So when your liver is damaged, it's a whole different slew of symptoms that you are dealing with. And we really want to make sure that the cells in our liver are not getting damaged. So how can we be supporting our liver? Obviously, eating the foods I'm about to be sharing with you or continuing to share, but also ensuring that you're doing a deep cleanse of your liver once a quarter. This is something I've recently implemented in my wellness routine this year, and I am obsessed with it. I'm in the middle of the 21-day cleanse as I'm recording this, and I feel so good, but also just hearing so many of you share different things you're experiencing, we love. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and share my 8th recommendation of foods to eat to help you naturally decrease estrogen. Citrus fruits, right? So we've got our grapefruit, we've got our lime, we've got our lemons. These are great sources of vitamin C. And vitamin C helps the body actually turn toxins into substances that can be dissolved in water for easy removal. They also help to stimulate bile production to flush more toxins and excess fat from the system. So, squirrel, if you are not doing a lemon water or having, a lime water, lemon lime moment, then what are you doing, girl? It's very simple. Get into it, okay? Another great food to be eating, so we've got our 9th recommendation, are your leafy greens. We know that greens are packed with a ton of nutrients and antioxidants, but did you know that chlorophyll actually lessens the toxin load on the liver by counteracting toxins during digestion? Basically, here's how it goes. The more bitter your greens, like your dandelion, your mustard, endives, rocket kale, the more bitter those greens, the increased production of bile. Okay, now I know you're probably like, girl, if it's not my mama's collard green, if it's not a nice little kale smoothie from Pure Green, if it's not my spinach kale collard green wrap from Erewhon, I'm not touching it. I 100% hear you. I'm not even going to front. I totally hear you, but there are some good greens powder on the market that you can look into. The greens powder, like I am not overly obsessed with a greens powder. However, I do currently have one in my house, and that is from the brand Parallel. Now, let me pull up this greens powder because I know y'all are going to ask me about it, and I'm like, grow. So what I like about this is one, the taste, like the flavor of it is acai berry. But in addition to that is the fact that it's a symbiotic, so it's got a pre and probiotic component to it, and I do like it. I'm pretty sure I have a coupon code for you, but if you want to look into it, head down to the show notes. I'm not 100% sure of what it is, but yeah, there's that. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to my favorite recommendation, because y'all know my name is Berri, and so I cannot get through this without recommending berries. Listen, berries are so underrated. And I can actually say this because my name is Berri on Berri, and I kid you not, I am one of the most underrated wellness coaches out there, period, dot, end of story. But berries are full, like they are bursting at the seams with antioxidants that can actually activate your liver cells, which can aid in detoxification. So I'm talking about your raspberries, your blueberries, your strawberries, your goji berries, your gooseberries, your boysenberries, elderberries, like we got all the berries. And these are also known to fight free radicals who are out of control. Okay? So listen, when we're talking about berries, just know I'm obsessed, but also, again, these foods are literally designed to help you naturally detox and decrease those estrogen levels. A lot of times we make it so complicated to balance our hormones, and it's like, it's not that deep. You just need to learn what foods to eat. First, you need to know what hormones you need to target, which a lot of y'all are trying to balance these hormones and don't even know what's out of whack. So that's one thing. But the second thing is really knowing how to eat your way to happier and healthier hormones. Again, if you don't know how to do this, girl, hop to the show notes, grab my nutrition plan, and get into it, because this is literally going to change your life. I'm not exaggerating. I will die on this hill. Food is medicine. Like, period, dot, end of story. And that's biblical. There is scripture to back that up. And if you're rolling your eyes, don't do that. Ezekiel 47:12 literally says their fruit will be for food and their leaves for healing. Okay? So I really want you to understand that when people say food is medicine, yes, it can come from so many different places, but like the father of modern medicine, Hippocrates, literally said, let food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. So we're talking about nourishing our bodies, but I digress. Let's get into this 11th food, okay? Can you say turmeric? Turmeric. Okay. A lot of y'all love turmeric, and we actually are incorporating that into our cleanse for fall time. But turmeric is obviously a spice, and it stimulates the enzymes in your liver to remove toxins. It also helps to lower your cholesterol levels, in case you're wondering. And it has a powerful antioxidant, right, that neutralizes carcinogens and other toxins. Now, a lot of people love to talk about golden milk, and I love a good golden milk latte because the active ingredient in turmeric that's helping de-stress the body, decrease inflammation, and different things like that is curcumin, right? But it needs to be activated by something a little spicy, like some ground pepper or some cayenne pepper. But another thing I want to throw at you are walnuts. Now, I think a lot of us know that nuts can be beneficial, but what I love about walnuts specifically is, one, it's a great food for your brain. I don't know if you know this, but certain fruits and vegetables and really foods are shaped a certain way to support a specific part of the body. For instance, kidney beans are designed quite literally to support your kidneys. I could get into a lot of others. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but with that being said, walnuts are known to support the brain because they're a great source of healthy fat, but this healthy fat also makes the liver flush fat soluble toxins. Okay, these are really a great source also of something called arginine, which the liver will use to remove any ammonia and glutathione, which also will assist the liver in removing many toxins. And I think, again, a lot of people don't know this, but these are simple things. Like, I'm pretty sure everything I rattled off to you, you can go get in your grocery store no matter what time of year it is. Right? You don't have to think too hard. It doesn't have to be deep, wonderful, and spiritual, although we do love those moments. I think you have to begin to look at foods as this tool, right? To fix your focus. So I hope that what I've rattled off to you has inspired you. In case you're like, girl, you really got into the thick of it. You're right, I did, and I really am excited to continue to do these things. I think I have scratched the surface and only spoken on things at like a surface level for so long, and I'm just so ready to go deeper with the gift God has given me to support you. If you're like, sis, I just need a real quick little list of all of this, make sure you head over to my Instagram, because I'm sure by now I have posted a reel, and if it's not live yet, it will be live momentarily, where you can just screenshot the list. Again, I wanted to do this because I just want to continue to be such a phenomenal resource for you all. I want to share with you how to naturally heal the body. And when you have been called hormonal for so long and you don't understand why you're hormonal or how something is impacting you, I want you to know that there probably is a natural way to bring health, healing, and wholeness back to your body, which is why we here embrace being hormonal, and we're happy with it because we know it's just a process of our body wanting to truly thrive. Now, I hope today's episode has been supportive to you, girly pop. And if it has, please be sure to share it with your friends. Let me know over on Instagram. And also, I want to let you know that next week, we've got a special guest on the podcast. My girl, Megan, also known as Mimi from The Medicine, is coming on to talk to us about something that I think not enough people talk about, which is HPV, the human papilloma virus. There is so much juiciness that we're going to be talking about in that episode, because Mimi and I are on the same page of normalizing conversations around things that are taboo, but helping you do it in a natural and holistic way. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that episode. And as always, love you, mean it, and I'll talk to you soon.